Hey everybody, it's Savannah Taylor, the Gardenista, your kitchen garden coach. And today we are going to be planting some delicious yellow squash. That's right, squash right in our own kitchen gardens. Now, I will say that if you have a small space, because I do want to be sensitive to those of you who tune in, because you know I have a heart for those of you who have very little space. Now, here's what you can do. You can do this very easily in a grow bag. And I do recommend, if you want to have a nice little bumper crop or what have you, go ahead and get the 20-gallon grow bag. It's about, I would say, about this size. And I'll show you how to get your seeds started. But that will fit very easily on your balcony, on a porch, or if you just have a small little piece of land or whatnot. I am going to be using my grow bags a lot this season as opposed to sowing right into the ground. Because as I've said before, those grow bags give you a lot of control over the watering and the fertilizing and just the whole environment of the plant. I love, love, love grow bags. So I don't know how you like your yellow squash. I love it roasted on the grill. I also love it. There's some recipes where you can put it in the oven and sprinkle it with Parmesan cheese and it comes out all crispy and good. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Okay, anyway, let's get started. So we will be starting our yellow squash from seed. And I do, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I do like to start my seeds in a bag. Most of them, not all seeds can be done this way, but usually the larger, bigger, hardier seeds can be grown this way. And if you're in a part of the world or the country where it's not quite warm enough yet, this is a great way to get started because you can start your seeds indoors. And then when the weather gets above, I'd say 60, 70 degrees for squash, you can then go ahead and start getting them acclimated to the outdoors, which we call hardening off. And I'll put a link down below for those of you who are new to these terms. But yeah, hardening off just really quickly means giving the plant a chance to get used to the outdoors. You don't want to just start it and then stick it outside and then in the morning expect there to be something, because it will have been gone to glory. Okay. All right. So first thing we're going to do is I have my paper towel here. All right. And I do have my squash seeds. I've got my favorite little spray bottle here. Okay. I love the continuous spray. This is in my Amazon store as well. All right. So with regards to starting your seeds off this way, I do not recommend doing more than 5 seeds. And I'll tell you why. And for those of you who know this already, you've been watching me. Let's just take a minute for those who are new, who might not know. So I'm going to show you in this bag where they've already sprouted. They really will get all up into this paper towel. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I got 5. And squash seeds are kind of big. So like I said, you want to be very careful, but they will get all intertwined into the paper towel. And if you've got a lot of seeds that you've just sprinkled all into the paper towel, it's going to be very difficult not to damage the roots when you try to separate it. And that's something I'm going to show you in just a bit. So I've got my seeds all laid out here and I do it just like that. Okay, just to give them some space. And then I'm going to take my bottle and fold it over first. Okay, I'm going to take my spray bottle and I'm going to get it very nice and wet, not sopping wet. Okay, we don't want to run it under the faucet. Okay, but we do want this paper towel to get very wet. Let me flip it over and get the other side. Okay, and all you need, besides the paper towel, is a nice gallon-size baggie that we're going to put it in. And some of you may see, well, Savannah, it looks like you're getting it sopping wet. I'm really not. Okay, when you can do this, all right, you can do this, and it's not, pouring down, dripping wet, right? And then I'm going to take my baggie here, and I'm going to label it. I've said many times, I've warned y'all, this process can get very addictive. So start labeling your bags, because you're going to be looking like, I don't even remember what this is. You're going to plant it and just have to wait and see, right? But we don't want to wait and see. We're going to put on here, this is our yellow squash. And once I get this in the baggie here, I keep it above my stove. Some of you might have another place that's dark and not cold, all right? Above my stove, it's nice and warm and dark, but you don't want to have it hot. That's not the goal of this. You just don't want to have it in a place where it's too cold, right? Because a little bit of warmth does help the germination process, okay? All right, and I've got it here in my baggie. And you don't have to let all the air out. You can leave a little air in there. It's fine. And close it up. And then I'm going to put this right above my stove. Okay, so now we're done with that. So now we're going to see the action. And I can tell from here, y'all, I'm going to tell you, these have been above my stove for less than a week. I think it was 6 days. I am not lying. 6 days. And I'm going to bring it up close and show y'all. But woo, Lord, if I'd have waited a little longer, good Lord. Look at this. OMG. Had I waited a few more, it's busting out. Look at this. Look at this, you guys. OMG. Right? Look at that. Okay, so we have got some beautiful action. And I'm telling you, I have nearly 100% germination success rate when I sprout my seeds this way. And now let me just say this. And here I've got some soil, nursery pots already ready to go. This is indoor soil because you still want to start them indoors. And like I said before, because they're fresh sprouts. So I don't want to just stick these right outdoors and because it's going to send them in the shock and they're not going to make it. So I'm going to use indoor potting soil. Indoor potting soil instead of outdoor soil, because if you use outdoor soil indoors, you're going to get gnats. Okay. So I've got some indoor potting soil in here, and I've got my little window tray because I'm going to put them in my window. And probably, in about a couple weeks or so, just keep an eye on it. When it starts to outgrow this pot, then I'll probably put it in a larger one. Now, about that, really quickly. I know that for gardeners who might have a lot of yard and space and they're doing massive gardening, this process might be a little bit too much. Okay. But remember, this is kitchen gardening. So you can take the little bit of extra time to give your plants that head start by starting them, in the bag and then putting them in the nursery pots, giving them a chance to harden off and before you stick them outside, because you're just growing enough food for you and your family. Okay. So you get a better crop that way. And, plants love it. You get a lot of success when you just take the little bit of time. And this is not a lot of time. You saw how long it took me to spray the seeds, stick them in a paper towel, and put them above my oven. Boom, I'm done until they sprout. And now we're going to do this process. Now, as you continue to do that every now and then, you'll have a continuous harvest and it's not so overwhelming. It's not really overwhelming, but it might seem that way if you're new, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and start separating these bad boys. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so I'm gently, and I'm going to come up there and show you what I'm doing. Let me come up there now. Okay, so I'm gently going to open this paper towel because, like I said, I don't want to damage the roots. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to tear along this one right here. Okay, just want to tear along that one by himself so that we're going to plant this one right here. Okay, we've already got a head start. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to remove a little bit more of the paper towel. Careful not to damage the roots. Well, maybe not too much because these roots is really all up in here. But yes, we're going to plant this whole little operation here into these pots, and the paper towel around it is just fine. It's going to decompose as the plant grows and starts to fruit and everything. Paper is a compostable, is that saying it right? You can compost it. And it actually makes your soil healthier. It invites our favorite little earthworms, and so that we get some of their goodness and to make our gardens really pop, right? And there we go. We've already got a head start, y'all. Look at that. Now, in addition to needing warm weather, you do, and yes, I will be getting some more nursery pots. I have some more waiting by because I got, like I said, I got all 5 of my sprouts sprouted, my seeds sprouted. But you do need warm weather to grow yellow squash, and you also are going to need squash. Yellow squash takes about 2 months to start fruiting. So you really want to make sure you get it in the ground in time so that you can have a nice little continuous harvest during the summer and the fall. As long as it's warm, just keep on going, you know. And if you do that, for instance, one of the things that I do once these things start sprouting, like you got the sprout, start another bag. All right, keep it going until the weather says we're done. And you can just keep it going. All right, so once I get these all in, what I'm going to do is, and this is so exciting, I mean, you got a great head start right here. So now I'm going to mist my seedlings. Now, why am I misting them instead of just taking something and just pouring the water in there? Well, I really like to tell new gardeners to practice misting your seeds and your seedlings once you put them in the soil, because if I were to take, say, a regular spray bottle, a lot of you know that spray bottle, even though it's not a fire hose, it's still pretty powerful, and it can blow your seeds in your soil all over the place, and then you're going to wonder why you ain't got good germination. Or even though these have already sprouted, I still don't want to disturb a lot of what's already been planted in here. So misting is always a safe bet. Even if you're outdoors, turn your hose nozzle onto mist when you're planting outdoors. Now, a note about that. Can you start these outdoors? Oh, absolutely you can. You absolutely can. This is just a preference because I love to give my produce, all of the things that I grow, a head start. And ain't nobody got time to be having a failed garden. It's been too. It feels like a little bit of a waste, is all. But by all means, play around with it. Go for it. As a gardener, you really do have to find out what works for you. Find out what works for you and your schedule. So, but to me, this really doesn't take a whole lot of time. I'm taking a little bit extra time because I'm showing you guys. But guess what? That's pretty much it. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of water to the bottom of this tray before I put it in the window. And you will have to keep an eye on it because this soil is still dry. I moistened the top, but it's still dry down at the bottom. And you will see that probably in a day or two, that water going to be gone. Okay, these things are going to sop up this water like you wouldn't believe. And then, like I said, just keep an eye on it. And then I'm not going to leave you guys hanging as they outgrow these little nursery pots. I'll go ahead and I will transplant them into a larger one. Depending on, how I feel, sometimes I will go ahead and harden them off and then just go ahead and put them in the final place where I'm going to let them grow. But we'll see. We'll see. But I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I will definitely give you a follow-up on that. But we are done, you guys. That's it. We are going to have some yellow squash, and we are going to be cooking up some delicious recipes soon. If you have not gotten your supplies, please check out my Amazon store. I put a link down below. Everything here, all of my videos, you can shop, get your gardening supplies. I am a kitchen gardening channel, so I also do a lot of cooking. I have a cooking page on Facebook as well. And you can get all of your kitchen supplies there as well. But this is why kitchen gardens matter, you all. Fresh, organic vegetables for you and your family, for your health. And with that, I will see you again next time when we grow something else. All right, bye-bye.